Okay guys, hey, welcome to Less Cooks More. Today we're making bread pudding out of cake. As you can see, I've already started cutting up little cubes of the bread cake. So this is what we have left over from the cake. I'll include the video of how to actually make this cake in the top corner. Anyway, so this is what's left over and there's crumbles. So you want to make like, you know, a couple inch cubes, and we're just going to chop a bunch of those up. So what I'm trying to do is get the cake out of here and then we're cutting it up and we're going to use it as our bread for a bread pudding. Okay guys, so the cake is still pretty good. My mom told me that this is more than 5 cups, but I don't know. So we're just gonna go with this to start. And next we need to get our liquids together. Okay, so now we are making our liquid. We're gonna use 1 stick of butter. So that's 1 stick. And then we're doing 2 cups of milk. We're using 2%. And we're gonna let that cook until it's almost boiling. In hindsight, I probably should have melted the butter first, then poured the milk in, but whatever. We just wanna make sure it's all melted. Okay, so it's still melting, and we are going to add in about a 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm using a 1/2 cup right now measuring, so we'll do like we'll do about half of a 1/2 cup. This is a little over half, just because we're using cake, so we don't need, and this recipe is for bread, so we don't need the full amount of sugar. So I would add in a 1/2 to a 1/3 cup. Oh, not a 1/3, sorry. A 1/4 to just less than 1/2 cup. Next, we are going to add in our eggs, 2 eggs. To lightly whisk. It said to lightly whisk, but I'm just like, okay, so that's probably good. It's like a light yellow color now. So we're gonna go and get our milk mixture and pour it in here. It smells kind of good. Okay, so we have our milk, sugar, butter kind of mixture here, and we're gonna be very careful because we don't want our eggs to curdle. And this is pretty warm, so we're just gonna put in, it's like almost boiling. So we're just gonna put in a small amount and then mix right away. That's what they said to do, to make sure they don't curdle. And I feel like we're doing all right, and we just have to keep adding it in. Okay, so oven is preheating at 350 degrees. Our egg mixture is together. You can see it's a little foamy. And then we have our bread. We're gonna add in our spices and vanilla. Okay, just having a hard time opening it, as you can see. We're going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1, ooh, what a sound. 2. Then we're gonna add in some cinnamon and a pinch of salt to cut the sweetness. So cinnamon and just a dash of salt. I'm gonna whisk it in. It smells delicious. So now what we're gonna do is start to add the bread in. And I don't know how much bread we have, but so we're just gonna throw it in. Okay, so I'm gonna sop up some of the cinnamon on the side and just put that in there. We also could have made cake French toast, which our mom did on her dad's birthday by using the cake tops that I cut off. And it's apparently it's a real thing, like I read a recipe, so I don't want to splash. We will see if this is the right amount of cake, and if we need to add more, we can. But apparently you just want to coat it. It's really sopping it up, isn't it? I think it's actually better if it doesn't keep its form, but that's just something interesting to notice. Looks like some oatmeal, yummy. Now, Do we think this is good? Should we add more or this is good? Okay, so we're gonna add a little more. Okay guys, so we mixed it in. We have a couple chunks in here still. It got pretty liquefied just because the bread was crumbly at this point. Or I mean the cake. We're just gonna pour it in. And at this point, we are going to put it in the oven and cook for 45 minutes. But I would say put it in for like 30 or 25 to check. And then after that, you can assess how long you need to leave it in there. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I just wanted to show you, we added in the last of the crumbs. So this is all of our leftovers. I'm gonna try just leaving them on top. There is a little icing, as you can see, so I'm not sure how that'll impact it. And we also have a little bit of fruit residue. So yeah, I'm gonna pop it in the oven and we'll see what happens. Okay, so now we're gonna make our icing. We're gonna add in a 1/3 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Mix that together really quickly. Our 1.5 cups of milk. We are just going to stir it in and bring it to a boil. And this is just a glaze that we're doing. Okay guys, so my sister just noted there are a lot of smells in the kitchen right now because we're cooking wings. Do you see how chunky that got on the bottom? It's because I'm not stirring, I guess, enough. So I gotta stir some more. And it's definitely starting to harden. And we're gonna add in our vanilla and bring it to a boil, and hopefully our glaze will be done soon. So as you can see, the glaze is getting glazy, and I'm adding in the vanilla. I should have put it in earlier. It hasn't quite boiled yet, but it's because the heat is up high enough. So that's why it's getting that glossy look to it now. Yeah, but it's just sugar and milk and vanilla and cornstarch. Okay guys, so this is our bread pudding. Honestly, it looks a little liquidy in the center, but I think that's kind of what bread pudding is supposed to be. Honestly, I've never made it before. I've only eaten it, but it looks good to me. You can see where we have icing on the top. I'm also gonna I made the glaze, I'm gonna pour it over, and we'll see. I feel like I should try a little piece just to make sure it's fully cooked. The top, there are some pieces that we just had on the top, and those are a little bit more crispy. I feel like the inside is more gooey. Comment below if you know what texture bread pudding is supposed to be, because I did 20 minutes, checked it, put it in for another 10, checked it, put it in for another 10, so that's 40 minutes total instead of 45. The ends are starting to crisp and some of them have pulled away, so that's why I thought we were good. But yeah, I'm gonna ask my mom and then I'll pour on the glaze. Be right back. Okay guys, so I have my glaze here and we're gonna drizzle it on top. My mom said that it's fine if it's like bouncy, it technically should be. I was gonna take it out early and I was told not to by somebody else. So anyway, we're gonna just drizzle it over and just, okay, so there were a couple pieces apparently that needed to be mixed more, but I feel like the glaze is making it perfection. Okay guys, so thanks for watching. This is my bread pudding made out of cake, so we'll call it cake pudding. And then we did a kind of just vanilla glaze. I'll let you know how it tastes. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below if you tried out the recipe or if there's something specific that you'd like me to do. Thanks for watching.